This guide is for you, the occupational therapy student. It provides a simple, structured approach to a workplace ergonomic assessment. The goal is to give you a clear framework. You can use this framework to prepare for your exams for your future practice. The language used is plain. The steps are easy to follow. Use this guide to build your confidence, master the basic process. Why do ergonomic assessments matter so much in our field? Many people experience pain, discomfort, injury related to their work. Good ergonomic design helps people stay safe. It helps them remain productive and healthy throughout their working lives. As occupational therapists, our core mission is to help people engage in meaningful occupations, and work is a primary one for many adults. An ergonomic assessment is a powerful tool in our toolkit. It allows us to systematically identify potential risks in a person's work environment. This proactive approach is a hallmark of modern occupational therapy practice. It improves well-being and reduces healthcare costs. The first step is always to understand the client and their context. Before you even step into the client's workspace, preparation is key. You do not need a lot of complicated or expensive tools for a basic assessment. A simple tape measure is essential. It will help you check distances and heights accurately. A camera, perhaps on your phone, is useful for documenting posture and the workspace setup. Always ask for permission before taking photos or videos. A notebook, a pen, a digital tablet, a standardized checklist or form can be invaluable. While not always required for a basic screening, some tools can provide more detailed data. A goniometer can help you measure specific joint angles. Handheld dynamometer for testing grip strength. However, the most important things you bring are not in a bag. Keen observational skills. Ability to listen. A professional, approachable demeanor. Wearing appropriate, clean attire. Offering a friendly introduction will help you build rapport with the client from the very beginning. The first step on site is to prepare the client and introduce yourself clearly. State your name and your role as an occupational therapy student. You might say, "I'm here to look at how you do your work to see if we can make it more comfortable and safer for you." This collaborative tone sets a positive foundation for the assessment. Once you have established rapport, the next phase is task analysis. This is where you become a detective, observing the client's main work activities. Watch the client perform their primary tasks at their normal, typical speed. Note how long each task takes and how often it is repeated. Look for key ergonomic risk factors: heavy lifting, awkward bending, prolonged reaching above shoulder height, highly repetitive hand or wrist movements. While observing, engage the client in a conversation about the tasks. Which part of this task feels the most difficult or tiring for you? This gives you insight into their subjective experience, as important as objective observations. Make short descriptive notes to remember action sequences and comments. Next, conduct a more focused posture check. Look closely at the client's body as they work. Start with the spine, then the head, then the shoulders, then the hips, then the knees. Finally, observe the wrists. These postural observations are critical. Awkward and static postures contribute to musculoskeletal discomfort and injury. Taking a quick photo, with permission, can capture these postures to show the client and explain the need for change. After observing the tasks and postures, it is time to use your tape measure. Objective measurements transform qualitative observations into concrete data. Start by measuring the key dimensions of the workstation. Check the height of the primary work surface. Measure the chair height from the floor if seated. Measure distance from the worker's eyes to the screen. Note vertical monitor position, top at or slightly below eye level. Check lumbar support of the chair. Next, quantify the reach zones. Primary reach zone, frequently used tasks within a forearm sweep. Secondary reach zone, requires extending the arm. Outside zone, rarely used items stored out here. Measure distance to most used tools. Keyboard, mouse, phone, essential documents. Long repeated reaches can strain the shoulder and back. Assess tools and equipment fit. Check handle size, too large or too small. Check for slippery or sharp edges. Consider tool weight and duration of use. Case example: bank teller with neck and shoulder pain. Observe workstation posture, leaning forward, head tilted, take measurements. Monitor placed directly on desk. Top is several inches below eye level. A crucial part of the assessment involves evaluating the forces and loads required by the job. Pay special attention to any tasks that involve heavy lifting. If possible, find out how much the items weigh. Observe whether the lifting is done by one person, assistance from others' mechanical aids. Watch the person's lifting technique, bending at the back and twisting the torso. These are high-risk movements for back injury. Teach safe lifting. Keep the back straight, bend at the knees and hips, hold the load close to the body. Also note pushing and pulling tasks. Pushing a heavy cart, pulling a loaded pallet jack using a stiff manual stapler. Consider the amount of force required, the posture used to exert the force, and the frequency of the action. Ask the client to rate exertion or observe signs of effort. Check the physical environment. Look at lighting. Is it bright enough? Is there glare on screens causing awkward posture? Consider noise level. Consider ambient temperature. Cold workers may tense muscles. Check floor hazards, loose cables. A safe environment is the foundation of an ergonomic workplace. After your thorough assessment, it is time to make simple, practical recommendations. It is best to start with low-cost or no-cost changes that can be implemented immediately. These quick fixes often provide significant relief. For an office worker, this might involve raising the chair to the correct height. You can move the monitor up to eye level using books. You can bring tools and documents closer to the worker to reduce reaching. If a worker's feet do not touch the floor when seated, suggest a small footrest. Small adjustments can make a big difference. For other jobs, simple solutions might include changing the handles on tools to make them thicker. You might suggest using a gel wrist rest for a keyboard to promote a neutral wrist posture. One of the most powerful and cost-free recommendations is to encourage regular breaks and changes in position. Teach the worker a few simple stretches they can do during a 2-minute break. For lifting tasks, demonstrate the proper technique of lifting with the legs, not the back. These small, actionable changes empower the worker and often yield fast, positive results. Once you have suggested some changes, it is important to plan for a trial period. Schedule a brief follow-up in person or by phone after a few days to see how things are going. Finally, you must document your findings and refer when necessary. Write clear, concise notes that outline the problems you identified and the tasks associated with them. Provide the client with a simple, easy-to-read handout that summarizes the changes you recommended. It is also crucial to recognize the